think that's good enough. Definitely getting that under boob sweat going. What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the channel. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, just do me a favor and consider subscribing, and drop me a comment down below if you've had any experience with these platforms so far, and say hi, reach out, let me know where you hunt. If you're in the Houston area, drop me some hints, because I don't really know what I'm doing either. But we all need a little help. Today we are doing a gear review. Today we are going to be looking at the brand new Fix platform from Lone Wolf Custom Gear. We're also going to look at the Ridge Runner, which I've ran for a couple of years now. Outstanding platform. Got my hands on this Fix, and been playing with it for about a month now, and I've been trying to get this video out, but I keep waiting because I want to get more experience with it, and I'm glad I did, because I learned some really valuable things that I think I can share with you guys and let you know that a couple little quirks about it. And you know, I was kind of on the fence, and all of a sudden it was like you know, the light went off. So hopefully this can save you some time after a bunch of hours. I probably put this thing on more trees than I would during a whole season of sitting. So without further ado, and for the sake of your time, let's get into the review. So we're gonna start with the Ridge Runner. The Ridge Runner platform comes in at 56 ounces and is an all aluminum platform with an anti-skid finish. It has an adjustability, and it comes in the form of a kind of an oversized adjustable knob for your angle adjustment, and really works. It's nice and quiet. Never heard anything from it. I've never even greased it, just to be honest with you there. The platform itself is, I think it's 16 by 18 inches, 16 inches wide, 8 inches deep, which comes out to about 128 square inches. So you notice the areas around the edge of the platform, they do have increased grip and traction while you're standing on the platform. But one thing I did notice about the Ridge Runner in my experience so far is those traction gaps that have been machined out are they're a little deep, and my soles on my boots and my shoes, they'll get right on the edge of them, and they'll kind of pop down in those gaps every now and then. You just kind of sitting there, and it's just that little rubber, it sounds like a rubber band popping from the bottom of your soles. So with the Ridge Runner, there's honestly little to no noise outside of that loose strap bumping against your platform. It's really all that I can speak on as far as the noise. It cams over great, it handles well, and all in all, the Ridge Runner comes out at about 182 bucks. So I think, you know, with taxes and everything, you're probably looking at about $190 or maybe $192, something like that. So, you know, that's a price point that is kind of the variability for all of us into the game, because stuff gets expensive really fast. Some things that I have learned about the Ridge Runner as well, and that I even noticed just playing out here in the last couple of weeks, is the foot profile is great. I wear a size 11.5 shoe, but what I did realize is I got so used to it, there's kind of, I would just call it like a toe plate, where it cams over and grips the tree. There's kind of a little plate right there, and it kind of prevents your toes from going forward to those extra like 3.5 inches to the tree. So you're kind of stuck at a foot pattern about like this, or you go to the outside edges and your heels are hanging off maybe the sides of your feet to get a straight line profile. So I kind of noticed that basically since I started practicing with the Fix. I was like, hey, I can fit my feet straight up the front on this platform. That works great. Another thing that I love about the Ridge Runner is the post is multi-grip. I think it has 18 different surface area grip points, and I'm all about surface area contact. That's something that you learn when it comes to grip overall, surface tension, anything like that, if you're into some of that kind of nerdy stuff. But 18 different points, and basically if that thing sits on that tree, you're going to get at least 15 of those points contacted. Cams over great, because that's something that I was a little on the fence about compared to the Fix. So I do love that about the Ridge Runner. It's easy set, multiple points of contact, also prevents it from doing side-to-side movement. Basically the post runs the length of the platform. It's a low profile. That is a general, I had a great experience with the Ridge Runner. It does great on big trees. That is one thing that it has over the Fix so far that I think is it does great on big trees. It starts to lose its form, you know, around that 7 or 8 inch tree mark. You start to get the outside edges of the post grip, but not to the point. So with that said, let's jump forward and talk about the Fix. The Fix platform comes in at 57 ounces, and that's only a 1 ounce difference from the Ridge Runner, so you're looking at almost an equal weight. And it's actually the lightest platform that I'm aware of on the market is the Solo Scout. It comes in at 24 inches. So that's huge. If you're a weight guy, you might want to go look at that Solo Scout. Maybe we'll pop a link in the description below so you can go check that out. The adjustability comes from the top side lever, which is going to play a huge role in how you set this platform, and that's something I learned I'm going to share with you here shortly. The platform itself is 12 inches by 12.5, or about 150 square inches of space. So compared to the Ridge Runner, you're looking at 12 by 12 basically, and 16 by 8. So that 8 inches deep, that's where I was talking about you lose that toe room. 16 inches wide, you kind of get that left and right profile a little wider. The Fix is more of an overall equal profile at 12 by 12.5, but overall comes out to more square inches, and you can take advantage of all of that area on that platform as far as foot space. It uses a similar buckle strap, which it can cause some clank, but it also folds over and makes contact with the platform rim, which can cause a metal to metal clank. It's a pretty easy fix with a piece of paracord. Hey, how you doing? With a piece of paracord or some stealth tape. I have some stealth tape left over, so I just fixed that up real quick. The post on this thing is long, and it really only has about 6 points of contact at the top. It does have 10 points of contact at the bottom, but of course not all of these are going to be making contact. The platform itself has a certain degree of contact as far as the teeth goes, which I would like to see a little bit wider degree of contact so it can hold a better profile on larger trees. The Fix, great on small trees, absolutely banger, probably cannot be beat. That thing grips into a smaller trees. We hung it on some black willows and some sugarberry trees earlier. Smaller profile, the Fix is jam up. Now the Fix does have a lot more customized features, such as concealment patterns, a utility hook for quick hanging and transporting, and it's fitted for the Lone Wolf Custom Gear double steps. So I want to go back and talk about the adjustability knob on the Fix before I forget, because I played with this thing for hours and days, and honestly I was getting very frustrated with it. I was almost ready to put the thing out and sell it, because I'm trying to follow the instructions on the vertical cam over process, where you strap it, you kind of leave it at that 45-degree angle, you pick it up, and then pull that platform down to set it in place. So it's a little bit different than your typical cam over process. But here's what I learned. When you get your Fix platform, the leveling knob is going to be all the way, just call it closed adjustment. Take that knob, run it out to about halfway, maybe 60% down that adjustment channel, and set that thing. And I promise you, it will save you a ton of heartache, because I was getting super frustrated. I could not get that thing to set, and I was getting pissed, and I was about ready to send this thing back, not send it back, because I've already had it for a while. I was probably going to sell it. But the Fix platform operates best with a very slightly downward angle. I mean, we're just talking about, you know, maybe 15 or 20 degrees. I set that thing and I put my level on it just to double check, and every time I just had the best grip. That thing was at a slightly downward angle. It wasn't enough to kind of get that calf stretch, but it was enough to where it was noticeable, and something to keep in the back of your mind. And honestly, I haven't moved it from that setting, and I'll show you a little bit of that either previously or right now, wherever that pops into the video. That made the Fix 100% better as far as fixing that thing on a tree, no pun intended, I guess. Something else I did notice on the Fix was, as typical kind of you know, Lone Wolf Custom Gear, also with the pocket arm, you have a little bit of this problem where the strap wraps around and hooks on your clip. They did create sort of a recessed profile for that strap to lay up against your post, but it's still a little bit sharp edges. I've already started to see some fraying on my strap, ever so slightly, and you know, I've cammed it over a bunch. I've put it on, you know, maybe probably 10, 15 different trees at this point, but I'm already seeing some fraying on the Fix, and that does give me cause of concern. And nobody wants to take a file and file down their brand new machined, you know, product that they get straight from the seller. But that's probably what I'm going to have to do, just because it makes me feel better. The Ridge Runner, on the other hand, has your round post. Great overall profile. Runs from about 5.5 inches, or actually about 6.5 inches from post to post. They're rounded all the way around. You never have to worry about any edges. And that grip profile on your post is about, you know, 4.5 inches. And it just works great. The straps are doubled up, and I have seen no wear in those straps. I really have no concern. So that is another point that I noticed about the fix. Another thing I noticed compared to the two, it may not be important to you, but I like to minimize the scarring on the tree as much as possible. The Ridge Runner has really, compared to the fix, very blunted post, and it doesn't really leave a whole lot of gouge and marks in that tree, especially if you're trying to hide from other hunters. It's pretty decent. If you have more of a white bark tree, somebody might notice it, but on a pine or something like that, you're probably not going to get noticed. But the fix is made to pull up, cam over, and then come down, and that thing actually absolutely rakes that tree. I mean, probably a good 1/4 inch into that tree, and which does help it set, because those teeth are very aggressive. There's not a ton of points of contact like we mentioned, but what contact it does have, it is pretty legit. So you're usually only getting maybe a point or two, maybe one primary point of contact on the top of the post, maybe 2 points at the bottom on the outside, especially on your larger trees, basketball sized trees and bigger, which is kind of typical for most of us. You're only getting maybe a point on each side of your platform, maybe 2, that are actually contacting the tree, which kind of worries me about bouncing left to right. But ever since I adjusted that angle, it really helps. I think because that downward angle helps to dig down and in. So I think that really helps a lot, because I noticed a lot of bounce and a lot of loss of contact sort of coming away from the tree is also what I noticed. But with the Ridge Runner, you're pretty much guaranteed, 90% of those points of contact. Really helps with that movement, and that concerned me a lot right at first. But in the end, once I really got used to camming over the fix, it really didn't seem like that much of a functional issue as it did maybe if you're concerned about the tree, because it does leave some pretty nasty scarring out there. And maybe if you're not trying to get seen, you don't want somebody to see those big white gouges jumping out at you. So honestly, to wrap this thing up, I think I'm going long here. It really seems like it. I was on the fence of actually giving up on the fix, but I'm going to keep it now, and I'm going to run it all this year. If you're going to take one from me, oh man, it's really tough. It's really tough. Honestly, if you're going to take one from me and make me choose, all things equal, it's hard to give up my Ridge Runner at this point. Maybe once I get more experience, I'll change that tune. But the fix also comes in at 250 bucks. I think you can probably catch it on a sale sometime before season. They'll put it down at 200, just like it was for the pre-release. And then you're kind of comparable as far as price, but that's an expensive platform for what you can pick up elsewhere in the market. It is what it is. So I think if you're gonna run the fix, you're doing it because you have the additional Lone Wolf custom gear features that are customized for that platform that fit it, like the sticks. You do it for the additional hook. Oh, the hook. The fix does have a molly hook that goes on your saddle. Now here's something else that I noticed about the hook. It's a great feature, but when I've gone up and down the tree a couple of times, one time it came out of my saddle and I dropped it to the ground. So what I noticed was the hook on the fix is really, it could stand to have a little extra length, like most of us. Just a little, maybe a 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch, because it doesn't slip all the way down in my molly loop, and it actually kind of, and plus it has a little bit of an outward angle. If anything, I thought it would have been favored in, but it's not. It's kind of adjusted out, which helps it slide out great. But I mean, it's machined metal finish. I don't think it would matter. But man, just picking my knees up, leaning back and having it kind of sit on my butt and kind of get pushed up, I lost it and it fell out. So I think that hook could be just a little bit longer as far as putting it on your belt. So if I was you, maybe consider attaching just a little paracord as a safety factor of not dropping that thing, and either dropping it on your buddy possibly, or having to go back down and get the thing and then making a bunch of noise and ruining your hunt. I'm glad I remember that, because that one did freak me out a little bit. But overall, I think once you find a place on your system that will work well, I think you'll be good to go. So if you are stacking sticks and you've got the Lone Wolf custom gear that works on that, it also is compatible with the little side adjustable piece that holds your bow. I can't even think of it now. So it's customizable with its other products. So if you like the Lone Wolf custom gear products, I think you may favor that one. But as far as platform functionality, I think it's kind of up in the air. So it's really going to be up to you and your budget and some of the details. If you're in the Houston area and you want to try these things out, hit me up and we'll meet up and and you can play with both of these things. I don't care. It's all fun and good. Maybe we'll go scout somewhere and bring all this stuff and you can try it out too. Well, let's wrap this thing up because I know we're running long. I appreciate you guys sticking around. I hope it wasn't too bad. If you made it this far, thank you so much. God bless you for sitting here listening to me talk crap for, I don't know, what's it been, 18 minutes or something? I don't even know. Thank you guys for checking out the video. If you made it this far, once again, just consider subscribing, stick around, hang around for the summer and into the fall. It's going to be an awesome year, and we will see you on the next one. Pick some wild corn dogs. There we go. Some people don't like cattails for wind checkers, but I actually think it works pretty good if you keep them dry.